Welcome back, everybody. It's Zach here, bringing you guys another fantasy football video. It's time to go over some starts and sits. So in this one, I'm going to be going over every single game of the week and going through all the fantasy relevant players in those games, giving you guys my general expectation for how that game is going to play out and what we should expect from each of those fantasy players. As always, if you guys have any specific start sit questions, just let me know in the comments below. Absolutely love interacting with you guys there and helping you guys out, and hopefully you guys enjoy. So yeah, let's just get into it, guys. Starting things off here, we've got Thursday Night Football between the Eagles and the Giants. Friendly reminder, as always, if you have any players in this game, do not use your flex on it. Make sure you move those players out of your flex. Give yourself that flexibility for later in the week. But on the Eagles side, Hurts and Saquon, they're in every single week. Saquon's dealing with a bit of a knee injury. It's a revenge game for him. He's been pretty vocal, saying he feels good. He's excited to play. I'm not worried about Saquon not playing in this one, so you're just going to throw him right into your lineup there. As far as the pass catchers go, I think you're just playing A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. The Giants are a horrendous defense in general, also banged up in the secondary. I think you're pretty safely, I guess safe's the wrong word, right? You're not going to expect a big game out of both of those guys, but the upside is there for both of them. The Eagles have actually been passing at a lot higher clip, and if Saquon's going to be banged up, not at full strength, you're not going to give him 20, 25 touches. I think there's at least an avenue here for one or both those guys to have a big game, so I'd play those guys. Dallas Goedert, 3 straight weeks with a touchdown. You can play him. You need a touchdown probably for it to pay off, but you could certainly do that. And as far as the Giants go, Cam Scatterbo is really the only player I want to play there. Tyrone Tracy's going to be back for this one, but I'm not too concerned about it until I see Tracy actually take a lot of work. Darius Slayton's going to miss this game, so Wan'Dale Robinson would be like a desperation flex play. I really don't want to go there if I can avoid it. Other than that, like Theo Johnson, deep league streaming option. I don't want to go there. I'd play Goddard over him. I'm not going to chase the 2 touchdowns here. I want to see it one more time before I trust it, and then not going to play Jackson Dart either. Next, we've got a London game again. We got the Broncos at the Jets. Again, this is a 6:30 a.m. Pacific time game, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Make sure Saturday night you guys have your lineup set. And if you're not going to get up early to make sure you check on those lineups before that game starts, just understand there's at least a chance that something bad happens and you are playing a player that gets a 0. So just be aware of that. For the Broncos, J.K. Dobbins continues to be an auto start. He's just getting it done every single week against a horrendous Jets defense. I bet he scores a touchdown again, so I feel good about him. Cortland Sutton, I'd play him. Keep in mind, it's probably going to be a lower output for him this week. He's probably going to get the Sauce Gardner treatment. So I think if you wanted to, you could look at someone like Troy Franklin and say that's like a decent DFS play or something. I think there's upside there if you wanted to go there. I don't love it in terms of like a bye week fill in as a flex. You could go there, but it's risky. It's just that we know the Broncos are going to score a lot of points against the Jets, and sort of similar to like how we saw like Flournoy get a 100+ yard game last week for the Cowboys because Sauce was on Pickens. You could see a similar thing pop up this week, so just keep that in mind. I'd want to get Bo Nix in my lineup as well here. I've got a league where I have him and Daniel Jones, and I'm probably going to play Bo Nix. So the Jets are not a good defense at all. They've been beaten up by everybody all year long. I feel good about pretty much every Bronco other than, like, I don't want to play Evan Ingram, but there's obviously a path for success there. Just the Broncos in general are going to put up points. And I wouldn't play RJ Harvey. It's just not he's not involved enough yet for me to trust it. Don't drop him by any means. His time's coming, and of course, there's obviously just risk of injury to J.K. Dobbins if he were to ever go down. I think RJ Harvey would be phenomenal. So you're keeping Harvey on the roster, but I just don't want to start him just yet. For the Jets, Justin Fields, he's a streaming option. He can nuke your week because he could easily go out there and get 5 fantasy points, and that wouldn't shock me at all against a fantastic Broncos defense. There's certainly reasons to be concerned and hesitant there, but also the garbage time machine, that's there. So you could easily just get a crap ton of points in the fourth quarter out of him when they're down 27-4 or to 3, and then maybe you end up getting a decent game similar to how you did last week. Brees and Garrett Wilson, they're both in for sure, and then Mason Taylor, you can play him if you need to. I'm not excited about it, but the targets have been there. He seems like he's the clear wide receiver too. I mean, if you want to call him a wide receiver in this offense, clear number 2 target. You could do worse there, but the touchdown upside just isn't really there against a really good Broncos defense. Next, we've got the Seahawks at the Jaguars. Seattle's been awesome, especially on offense. For JSN, he's a must start. We can stream Sam Darnold if we want to as well. He's been phenomenal, and the Jaguars defense is not one that scares me, so I think you can play him. Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet, both options. I'm not excited to play either one of them, just because Kenneth Walker, you're going to be frustrated the whole game, asking yourself why Zach Charbonnet is on the field. And then when Zach Charbonnet is on the field, you're going to wonder why he's on the field, because he doesn't do a whole lot. But he's a good between tackles runner. I don't want to completely crap on Charbonnet. He's not horrible. good short yardage back. That's the only real path for Charbonnet to get fantasy points is to score a touchdown, but that could certainly happen. And then AJ Barner, I just want to mention him. He's actually the tight end 9 on the season right now. You could play him if you needed to. I don't love it, but I do think he's the tight end we want between him and Elijah Arroyo. He's just really big, really athletic, clearly used in the red zone. There's obviously touchdown upside here, and this should be a relatively high scoring game. So if you had to stream him, I think you could do worse. For the Jaguars, Travis Etienne, he is in. The Seahawks are really banged up in the secondary, though. They sort of turned into a bit of a pass funnel last week, and while that continues, I think that could happen. For that reason, I'm going to call it this week. This is the week Brian Thomas breaks out. So play him for sure. I know it's been a bumpy ride, but this is going to be the week for him. Travis Hunter, low-end flex option as well, especially with the Brenton Strange injury. You're going to get a month of probably increased involvement for Travis Hunter. Strange was getting a ton of targets. He was clearly a focal point of the offense, and him being out is going to open up opportunities for Hunter. And then Trevor Lawrence, you could stream him if you want to. I don't really want to. The Seahawks defense has been pretty good. I know last week they got carved up by Baker, so that'd be the bull case, is that you could just see a similar game plan here. But even last week against the Chiefs, Trevor just didn't look good. I know they won the game, but I was unimpressed watching him. If he just doesn't get up near the goal line, he wasn't very good. So I don't love it. I'd prefer to look elsewhere if I can. Next, we got the Chargers at the Dolphins. The Chargers are going to get on track in this one. The Dolphins are going to fall to 1-5. For the Chargers, without Amari and Hampton, you're going to start Justin Herbert and all 3 wide receivers. They're going to have to pass a lot because they can't really run the ball in all likelihood here, especially behind that bad offensive line. The Dolphins, they're going to give you plenty of opportunities to throw on them. So I feel good about that. If you need to play Haskins, you could, but I won't be shocked if Kamani Vidal gets an annoying amount of work. They also signed Naheem Hines, sort of a blast from the past there. I think either one of those running backs, if you play them, you're going to need a touchdown to end up being happy. Haskins is probably the safest bet for that, but Vidal's probably going to get the passing down work. I'm not excited about any of them. I think I'd want to wait and see how that plays out, and then at that point, it feels bad that you spent up a bunch of fab on these guys. So I prefer to sit them, but if you have to, I get it. You could play either one. For the Dolphins, I think every single week, Waddle, Waller, and Achane are going to be auto starts every single week. And then outside of that, you're not going to play anyone for Miami. Malik Washington just not getting involved enough like you would have hoped. Tua just not good enough to play in fantasy, so it pretty much sums it up there. Next, we've got the Rams at the Ravens. Pretty usual for the Rams here. Kyron, Puka, and Devontae Adams, they will be in for you guys. Stafford is actually in streaming consideration this week just because Baltimore is so horrendous. We saw CJ Stroud go out there and have a 4-touchdown game, his second career 3-touchdown game. So, Stafford's obviously got upside here. The Rams are going to put up a lot of points, and assuming they score, let's say, 5 touchdowns this week, which I don't think is a ridiculous projection, it seems reasonable to think that 3 could go to Stafford. The problem with Stafford is you kind of need a 3-touchdown game for him to be good because with no rushing upside, you almost need that 3-touchdown game unless you could stream him, but it's just the floor is lower with him because you need those touchdowns. For the Ravens, Zay Flowers, he's a flex option. Derrick Henry, you just got to play him. I know it's been rough, and again, I don't expect this to be a great game for him because they're not going to have Lamar. They'll be down, so it doesn't set up well. So I think you could maybe look elsewhere if you had to, but I would just have such a hard time benching Derrick Henry. You would need to have 2 legitimately good options. Mark Andrews, low-end streaming option. I don't want to go there, especially because you're probably going to get Tyler Huntley. Maybe you get Cooper Rush. They haven't formally announced it yet, but it's not going to be Lamar. The offense isn't going to be good. They're going to lose. They're going to be 1-5. But better days are coming for Baltimore. You just got to wait 2 weeks to get this week in the bye. So don't panic if you have Ravens, but just understand that for the next 2 weeks, you're probably not going to get a whole lot out of them. Next, we've got the Cardinals at the Colts. For the Cardinals, Kyler's banged up. I'm not excited to play him, even if he does play. If he's got a foot injury and he's less mobile, just with how anemic this offense has looked in Arizona, I don't really want to get cute with Kyler there. I think McBride's really the only must-start there for Arizona. If you have to play Michael Carter as an RB2, you can. He should get most of the work here. Bam Knight will get some too. I bet Emari Mercado works in a tiny bit, but they'll probably punish him without punishing him there. Marvin Harrison, you can play him, but if Kyler sits, I'm not going to be excited. And even if with Kyler in, maybe that helps. That they need to throw him the ball. He was sort of having a breakout game at the start of the game last week, and then they just sort of turtled up when they got up 21-3. I think better days are coming for Marv, but it's just so tough having any sort of emotional attachment to what the Cardinals do on offense right now. The Colts, though, they're a lot more fun. Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren, they're in every single week. Michael Pittman, pretty decent starting option if you need to go there. He's still the wide receiver that I want to play, and this Cardinals defense doesn't scare me. And then Daniel Jones, an option as well. Again, I mentioned I have him and Bo Nix in a league. I'm probably going to play Bo Nix, but you could do worse than Daniel Jones. So I think he's an option, someone you can certainly take a look at if you need him. This game might be super fun. We've got the Cowboys at the Panthers. I sure hope Chuba takes one more week off, actually, just because it's going to give us a lot more out of Rico. For the Cowboys, Javonte, Pickens, and Ferguson, all of them are must-starts. They've all been phenomenal. Javonte's the running back 3 on the year right now. Ferguson's the tight end 1, and George Pickens is the top 10 wide receiver. So all that's awesome. You're going to play all 3 of those guys. I feel great about Dak Prescott as well. You're starting him. I've got a tough choice to make in one league. I've got him and Caleb Williams. I like both those guys this week. I'm currently leaning Caleb, but it feels tough sitting Dak Prescott right now, so I'm not sure where I'm going to end up landing on that. For the Panthers, Rico Dowdle, he's a must-start if Chuba sits. If Chuba's active, it's probably going to be a 50-50 split here. I don't imagine they just go away from Rico, especially with Chuba not at full strength. I feel like they're going to give Chuba one more week. It's a calf injury. Those are scary. You don't want to re-aggravate that. That's how you get a torn Achilles. We've seen that time and time again. It makes sense for the Panthers to be careful with it. And with how well Rico played last week, why would you rush Chuba back? So I think we'll get one more week out of Rico, but just keep an eye on that. If they both play, I probably don't want to play either one of them. And then outside of that, the only Panther I want to play here is going to be Tetairoa McMillan. I think this could be the breakout week. The Cowboys defense is awful. McMillan looks really good. We just haven't gotten a touchdown yet, but he's phenomenal in terms of getting yardage. The touchdowns will come. This offense isn't even that bad for Carolina. Like, the touchdowns should have come by now. It's just been some bad luck. I think we'll get a good week out of Tet this week, and I'm still excited about him the rest of the season. So that'll do it for the starts and sits part 1. I will go over the second half of the games in part 2 of this video. I'll record that one on Friday. It'll probably come out either Friday night or Saturday morning for you guys. I always wait till Friday on that just to get you guys more injury information. I don't want to record them all when I'm recording this one, which is Wednesday night, because I've got to get one out for Thursdays for you guys, obviously. But of course, we learned so much in terms of practice reports and everything the next couple days. So stay tuned for that video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. 5 videos every single week, so you just don't want to miss that. I'll be here all year long to help you guys win your leagues. And then if you guys do have any specific start to sit questions, just let me know in the comments below. I'd love interacting with you guys there, and it's part of what makes this fun for me. So I appreciate you guys. If you made it this far in the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys with the next one. Peace. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, check out these other videos here if you haven't. If you want more content, please feel free to follow me on Twitter at RealSteelFFB. I'll be more active on there as the season goes on. Thanks. Catch you later.